Hello. I had the best intentions of creating this video with all kinds of important information in regards to breakfast before running, walking, exercising, and I do cover a little bit of that in the video of some of my personal choices or what I think is the way that I'm going to go. But I do go off tangent, and I just wanted to give you guys a little forewarning on that. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
Okay, it's walk day. Oh, I don't know if I got any of that, but it's like the return of the geese. It happens every year towards the end of February. All the Canadian geese come back from the south and hang out in our neighborhood for seems like good 2 or 3 months. They have their babies or chicks or whatever they're called. Gooselings? I don't know. But they're pretty cool. They make a little bit of a mess, but it's nice seeing it. You know that spring's getting closer. You can see I'm all, I had to get in close here. I'm all wrapped up. It's not even that it's that cold, but the wind's back. It's nearing like 20 miles an hour this morning. And so right now, just walking. I have a lot to do this morning. I have some work meetings, so I think I'm just going to do a quick walk, maybe do a little bit of a run. I'm not sure yet, but I got to get back to the computer. So we'll see how this little bout of exercise this morning works out. Still trying to keep somewhat close, so when the wind does blow, we can hear. Just wanted to talk real quick about something. Eating breakfast before working out. I'm not sure still 100% on how I feel about that. There's some mornings I wake up and I feel hungry, so I eat and then I go to work out and I just don't feel that great. Other mornings, I'm not that hungry. I skip breakfast, I work out, and I seem to feel better. And I enjoy eating breakfast more than after, or I don't even eat it at all. So, man, I guess it seems like it leans more towards not eating breakfast. I've watched a lot of videos and read a lot about, hey, eat 2 hours before you work out, but that's not always possible, especially if your only job's not training. I mean, if you get up at 6:30 and you have to be out the door by 7:30, you're not gonna be able to wait 2 hours after you eat. And there's been a few days even where I'm hungry, but I go ahead and skip and I work out, and that just seems to kind of just crush the hunger anyways. So I guess I answered my own question. It's better not to eat breakfast before working out. Well, taking a little bit different of a walk today. I think we're getting ready to hit with some wind, so sorry about that. But anyways, we're going down into a little bit different part of the neighborhood. It's not the normal loop that I've been doing. Back to that breakfast thing. I guess even if it would slightly hurt your performance, let's say you were hungry and needed some food, some nutrients, energy, it's just training. So I think that would be the best time to figure that part out. If you know you need X amount of food to perform properly. Also, maybe training a little bit on a deficit of calories may help you push, or it pushes or stresses your body a little bit further in training. That way you actually get a little bit more of a workout. So I really starting to think more and more that exercising on an empty stomach is probably the way to go. I think if you are going to do a race or compete, I think eating well the night before and getting up in the morning with enough time to eat and allow your food to properly digest is the way to go on competition day. But I think your normal training, I just don't really see the need to have to eat, I guess. And another thing as well, and I don't know if this has been proven or not, I think I've heard this and read about it, but I also think that there's a advantage to working out on an empty stomach or even fasted from a weight loss perspective. I don't know if I'm not sure if you lose more weight on it or not. I think you're supposed to, but I know I think you feel like you do at least. And sometimes that's the kick you need to just keep moving forward. To try to spicing things up a little bit here, I came out onto a more of a well-commuted road. As you can see, look at all these cars. No, for real though, this is a much more traveled road. For whatever reason, there are not that many cars right now. You would think commuting hour right now that people would be on the road, but this is the road we take to get to the bike trail. It's, I guess you could say, it's kind of like the easiest way to get here, way to get there, other than taking the other road you'll see up here in a second. Nico just started riding on the roads. I mean, he's rode around the neighborhood, but on Saturday when we took that 12-mile bike ride, I had him come out on this road. I stayed directly behind him and just kind of instructed him on moving forward, keeping to the right, but not so far that you're going to wreck yourself. And then I started teaching him about hand gestures, but at this point I feel that him keeping his hands on his handlebars are actually a little bit safer than trying to hand gesture, unless it was an absolute necessity. The fact that I'm behind him, I can do the gestures for us, and then he can learn as time goes on. But more importantly, just him keeping in a straight line and to the right so cars can get around him safe. The speed limits on these roads are faster. They're around 45. A lot of people will do 50 or 55 on occasion. So it is a little, I don't know if you want to say frightening or scary, but those are pretty high speeds. And someone can make a quick mistake and you could be done for, but that's kind of part of life, of taking some chances and risks. We have a bike rack, but I don't want to always have to take my bikes and put them on the car and drive them to the bike trail, especially when the bike trail is literally half a mile from our house. It's right over that way. You can see those apartments over there. It's right next to those apartments, so it's very close. So it just doesn't make sense to drive your car there. So now we're coming up to the intersection here. This is the part that I tried to avoid when we went on our bike ride. We actually cut through a parking lot back there, which made it real easy. So this is the road that I didn't want to have to go on for the bike. That's why we took that side road, which probably added a little bit of length, but I don't like these big blind hills. You can see this car is kind of coming right up here. Anyways, this is a little bit busier part of the road, staying off to the side. It's just, the other cars don't have that much where to go either, so that's why we don't come out here too often. And at least on bikes, you're moving quite a bit more at speed. But these hills wouldn't be so great either for new bike riders changing gears, trying to get up. worrying about a stop sign, all that. I don't really know where this video is going, but I'm just talking. So yeah, getting closer to our neighborhood now on this walk. Still on the busy road, as you can see. I probably got about a quarter mile, I would guess. I'll be curious to see how far this is. I've never done this before, actually. There's really never been a reason for me to need to walk on the street out here. But at least it's changing things up. I think that's part of the problem with exercising is ultimately you get bored with what you're doing and you stop doing it because it's not fun or exciting anymore. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there, but yeah, it's just not fun or exciting any longer. And so mixing it up helps keep your interest. But with exercise, you really need to think about consistency. And you would think, well, if I make this loop in my neighborhood, I do that loop every single day, that's consistency, and it is. And if you can do that, great. And then as you need more, you just add another lap to that loop. But a lot of people can't do that. They need to see change, something different in their environment. So even doing something like this, where I have cars speeding by, adds a little excitement. Plus, I've just added in a bunch of additional elevation that I wouldn't have maybe got in my neighborhood loop. Even if it ends up being less elevation, it's still different. It's a steep grade, then a long grade. In the neighborhood, I seem to have a little bit more just steeper grades over shorter distances. I say so a lot. Gotta work on that. So I moved over into this muck while walking. Cars were seeming to get a little bit faster, and we're not by that stop sign, so might as well get off the road. I don't need to be. Also interjects a little bit different terrain for walking on. Man, I used to remember I would walk everywhere in college. I lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, went to college there. And we would walk everywhere, even though we had cars. Parking was a pain, it was expensive. If you got a parking ticket, you never paid it, which happened all the time. And that parking ticket that was like 15 bucks became 40 bucks, then became 100 bucks. So we just started walking a lot. And it was nice. Now, if I would have just carried that over into my adult life and left the college stuff at college, carried the walking and exercising over into my adult life, I would have been good. So all the partying, drinking, and stuff like that, should have left it in college. I guess I started this out talking about breakfast. So the question is, did I eat breakfast today before going on my run, which turned solely into a walk? The answer is yes, I did. Did I need it? No, I didn't. Do I regret eating it? A little bit. It's sort of part of habit for me to some extent. And I've been making those changes, and I'm gonna move forward with it. Yesterday I did not eat breakfast before I went on that run. I felt great. Today I did. A lot of it, like I said, it's habit. Or if I'm making Nico breakfast or Nico's sitting down to eat, then I want to sit down and eat as well. And what I need to learn to do is just sit down and have our normal breakfast, but just sit there and talk and skip the eating part. Maybe even getting a cup of coffee or something, but I don't like drinking coffee right when I get up. And that's something that I've also been researching, is that it's not necessarily the best thing to be doing is caffeinating the second you get out of bed. But yeah, I ate breakfast. I only walked. I didn't run. And have a great day.
Okay, don't kill me. I know you'll never get those 15 minutes back, but hopefully you got a small amount of entertainment out of that video and maybe you learned something small, or at least you found out what I'm kind of thinking. So, thanks again for watching.